That's what that's about. Yeah, I just told you that. Yes, sir, man. It's time to get it, man. It is time to get it. Yo, good people. It's your homie, HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. Yes, sir. And if you're new to the program, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right. So I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I am your homie HerbMan. We're coming live from South Africa, live on YouTube, live on TikTok. Go get somewhere. Get situated because we're going to teach you how to heal thyself. And you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. So here we teach you about the human frame and the human design so that you guys can be well on your way to the happiness and the wholeness and the wellness that you are deserving of. All right. So you guys keep tapping. I'm gonna keep talking. This is the free information station. You don't have to pay for anything that you hear here today. All you simply got to do is pay attention. And how we do that on the HerbMan Show is by double tapping this screen and getting us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. All right. I'm gonna work for my food. You work for yours, and let's heal together. Okay, let's interact. Let's heal together. Once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get there. And since you guys are already eager, let's go ahead and start this message. Look, a lot of folk talk about following the sun. Historically, it's been all about how we have followed the sun. Whether it be the personification or whether it be the natural asset that we have in the sky, people have been trying to follow the sun. The thing about it is you're not doing a good job at either one of those two things. You're not following the son of nature, and you're not following the son, the child of God. Here you talking about. Ain't nobody scared to tell you what the hell going on. You ain't doing a good job at neither one of them. I don't give a damn if your religion named Jew, if your religion named Christ, if your religion named Muz. We don't care. We are not doing a good job at following nature, following the Son of God. And in the old times, that was what spirituality was all about. That was what living was all about. That was what existing was all about. And here's the thing. You don't know where you at in location. You don't know what you need to be doing. People trying to move to the sun. People trying to move away from the sun. The bottom line is, it ain't about moving. It's about changing your reality and your understanding about the influence that this stuff has on you. So there is a certain thing called circadian biology. And this science is about the same stuff I've been teaching you guys about, light and temperature. Remember when they first came in from the Aztecs to the Mayans, it was all about light and temperature. So circadian biology has a lot to do with light and temperature, but then they're going to add in time. Okay, so those are the three components. And if you don't know light, if you don't know temperature, and if you don't know time, then you don't understand that those three things is in every living organism on the earth. And they're also including your hormones, your metabolism, your immune function, your emotions, your sleep, your digestion, your repair cells. All of this has something to do with circadian biology. And what this is at its core is that you need to understand that humans run 24 hours a day. There's not a time that you off. There's not a time that you shut off. Your refrigerator may defrost. Your air conditioner, you can go and cut off. Your heater, you can go and cut off. Your car, you can cut off. You can cut the water off. You can cut the electricity off. But you, my friends, humans run on a 24-hour, 24/7 internal clock. And that clock is not synchronized by the clock on your wall, but it's synchronized primarily by the light in the sky, the sun in the sky. So we're going to teach you guys today about how much we're not following the sun in personification or the sun in nature, even though both of them are synonymous. The clock in your body is not synchronized by the clock on the wall, but by light. The first thing that synchronizes your body, somebody say light. Put it in the chat, please. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. I need to interact with you today because we got to learn. You're not following the Son of God. I don't give a damn what you call it, S-O-N or S-U-N. You're not doing a good job of it. And we need to learn how this is so influential in our bodies that we need it. Yes, you need the Son of God. Yes, you need to know about the Son of God. But out of your ignorance, they're creating an industry called church. We need to get you back to the reality of that relationship. How is your relationship with the Son? So the clock, your body clock, is synchronized primarily by light, secondarily by temperature. Then you get the timing of the food that you're eating and the movements you're making. Okay? And your master clock, it sits in the brain. Your master clock, it sits in your brain. And it's called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Okay? The suprachiasmatic nucleus. So we always just do it like this, SCN. All right? The suprachiasmatic nucleus. Let me see if I got a little receipt with this, you guys. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Yeah, I came to bring the funk today. Y'all already know me. I came to bring the pain. Hardcore to the brain. Let's go inside the astral plane. I came to bring the pain. You see what I'm saying? I got tired of playing with y'all, man. We got to get y'all stuck off stupid. All right? So right here, suprachiasmatic nucleus, you guys see it. It's right there by all of your other little majestic little things in your gland that you've been reading about, okay? So your suprachiasmatic nucleus is right there by your what? Your pineal, your pituitary, your hypothalamus. It's also by your optic chiasmatic, so it's also about your perception. Okay, so it's how the light is being perceived. Remember that light is instruction. Now, I just told you and taught you that light is your primary source of synchronizing your body. So you guys are staying in high latitudes places. You guys are staying in low latitude places. And you don't understand what you need to be doing in those climates. So there you go. Black folk is all over here in England. Black folk are all over here in Canada. Black folk are all over here in South Africa. Black folk are all over here in America. But these are temperate climates. That means that you're going to have to mix it up a little bit. You can't just be indoors If you're in any latitude that's higher than 50 degrees, you up north. So that's weak sunlight. If that's weak sunlight, you can't be in the house all day. It ain't gonna work. And then some of you black folk is in sun all day, got sunlight all day, but you indoors too, in the AC. So I'm gonna teach you about your relationship with this sun that you talking about you love so much. Huh? We're gonna expose. We're gonna expose your relationship with the Son of God. Huh? Because this is what killing you. You ain't got a good relationship with it. You see? You ain't got a good relationship with it like you think you do, y'all. See? And you got to understand that your body is expecting some kind of rhythm. Synchronization is a rhythm. Your body is expecting some kind of rhythm. Let me get on rhythm. Okay? But when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you're doing is cutting on TVs and cell phones. You're not going outside. So you don't never even get that relationship with you and the morning light. See? So how's your relationship with the morning sun? Talking about you love the Son of God. I love Jesus. Well, how's your relationship with Jesus in the morning? Do you wake up? Do you understand what that means, that mobilized energy? Do you understand that raises your cortisol? How's your relationship with the midday sun? Do you understand that that's about your digestion, and that's your best time to move, that's your best time to build, your best time to think? How's your relationship with the evening sun? Do you know that means he wants you to slow down, and he wants you to start wrapping it up, and he wants you to start getting into your repair mode? He wants you to start releasing, closing down the day. Did you know that about the sun? See, Jesus telling you something every day, but you looking at it in the book. I'm telling you to look at what he's talking about in the sky. See, I'm finna teach you something today. See? And what you know about what the sun's saying when the sun's setting? What you know about what the sun's saying when it's dark? Do you understand that Jesus is telling you to sleep and regenerate, recuperate, detox, and grow? So you got to be able to get into the rhythm of what the Son of God is telling you each and every day. And when this rhythm is respected, that's what health is. That's what clarity, that's what longevity looks like. But when this relationship, when this rhythm is out of tune, when the record breaks, when it's disrupted, that's what fatigue and inflammation and disease is. Okay? And so for the longest, I've been teaching you guys about the climate and how the climate fits into this whole thing. And nobody seems to respect the understanding that the climate is what you look at every day. You should be your own weatherman. The weather will tell you whether or not to do certain things. Somebody put that in the chat, please. The weather, okay? Weather tells you whether or not. The weather tells you whether or not. Am I going to drink today where it's too hot? Am I going to do this today where it's too cold? Am I going to do this today? It's too windy. Am I going to do this today? It's too dry outside. Am I going to do this today? It's too hot. Am I going to do this today? It's too stormy. The weather tells you whether or not. Thank you, Secret Life. Your climate is not accidental. It is a biological training ground. Humans have evolved to be able to live in a lot of different places. But we have evolved to wake up with the sun, adapt to the heat, the cold, the wind, and the humidity. We have been able to evolve to use seasonal shifts to regulate our hormones and immunity. But the thing about it is your modern life today, it breaks these cycles. So now you're living indoors. So it doesn't matter if you're in South Africa. It don't matter if you're in the Congo. It don't matter if you're in Australia. It don't matter if you're in Brazil. It don't matter if you're in the mountains. It don't matter if you're in the snow in Alaska. Ain't no need in you moving. You need to integrate. But modern life breaks you from the integration. So you're living indoors, whether you're in the mountains or in the sun. You got artificial light at night, no matter if you live in the mountains or in the sun. You in there with constant temperature control. So it don't matter if you live in the mountains or in the sun. You're not adapting to the outside. You're controlling every aspect of where you at. You eating the same foods no matter where you at. Year round, you eating the same foods. So it don't matter if you're in the mountains or if you're in the sun. You're eating the same foods year round. And this is why you're breaking your design. And this is why we're dying fast. To get the most out of your understanding of the influence of climate, you must cooperate with climate instead of resisting it. A lot of us don't let cold touch us. You heard the weatherman said on the TV, and by the time you get out the house, you already, your body ain't felt 35 degrees. You got so much clothes on. You heard it on the TV. Your body ain't felt rain. You got some rain boot, raincoat, and an umbrella. You heard it on TV. Your body ain't felt heat. You got the AC on in the garage. You got the AC on in the garage, but you don't want to feel no heat. You see? So your body ain't the one that's doing these transitions, and that's what's killing us. And when you're understanding how to use natural light, you're understanding about temperature, then you'll be able to get all this information that you're going to get today. And you got to know that the sun telling you everything. It tells you when to eat, when to rest, when to do this, and when to do that. And today, that's what we're talking about. You don't know God. You don't know your relationship with the Son of God. But that Son of God is teaching you and telling you everything you need to do at each moment of the day. Only if you get back open, get back privy, only if you get back sensitive to the instructions of the light, will you be able to understand that this shit is actually allowing me to know exactly what I need to do. Okay? And we have to learn how to move the way that the climate demands. That's the biggest thing. Move the way that the climate demands. So if you got a hot day, the best thing to do is slow, rhythmic, breath-focused movements. If you got a temperate day, right, or you in a temperate climate, then you know you need to be doing different things. Walking, exercising, just mixed activities. If you're living in a cold environment, then you know you got to watch out for your burst of energy. You got to strengthen yourself. Make sure you're doing warming movements. And the movements are going to help you discharge the environmental stress. And it's going to help you anchor the nervous system. And sleep and all the rest of this stuff is just as important. Because remember that you have a time of darkness. The sun is telling you something at every step of the way. What is the sun telling you today? I don't know where y'all at. I don't necessarily know where y'all are living at, but what is the sun telling you today? Everything should be transitioned from light to dark, from warm to cool, from activity to rest, from exposure to recovery. Everything should have a transition. And when you align yourself up daily with this type of rhythm, especially within your local climate, then you stop fighting biology and you start healing yourself automatically. Circadian biology is when your body is agreeing with Earth, when you're in this integrated relationship. Is when you're honoring the light, when you're honoring the temperature and the seasons and the timing of things. And the body just suddenly starts to remember how to regulate itself. And that's why the owner's manual is such an important feature. Now we're going to go into a little bit more historical context of what we're teaching you. But I need for you to understand the effects that this stuff have on your body without you knowing it and paying attention to it. Okay, so you're waking up every day and you're screaming Jesus, but you have no relationship with nature. You're waking up every day and you're screaming Muhammad with no relationship with nature. There are reasons why people are bowing down and praying at certain times of the day, because they are following the sun's information on what those days mean and those times of the days mean, what those time of seasons in my life mean. When you start understanding this, you can take in some of the downs and you can take in some of the ups a whole lot better. Like LeBron James said, it's a full season, baby. Why get mad at the game today when I'm trying to get to the championship? So I am built for the long haul, not for the game today. So the game today don't make me mad because I lost today. I got 120 year. Shit. This is a 120-year game season. Why would I be mad at a loss today? It gonna be like that. Why would I be mad at a sickness today? It's gonna be like that. Why would I be mad at brokenness and impoverishment? You're gonna have some ups and some downs, but you got to be built for the long haul. You guys are crying over little stuff every day, and everything feels like the end of the world. It's because you don't have a relationship with the Son. But we're going to teach you about why it's so important to do this and why religion and all of this is explaining this to you in their way, but we're going to explain it to you in another way. Okay? Circadian biology is not just about time, but it's also about place. Where you live on the earth, yes, it does determine how much sunlight you get, how much darkness you get, how much temperature and seasons reach your nervous system. But I want to break it down to you a little simply and a little bit more biologically, okay? Anybody ever heard of the word latitude? Okay, you got latitude and you got longitude. Okay, let's talk to you today about what these mean, okay? First of all, to be real quick and simple with it, because we ain't going to take all day on this type of stuff right here, but latitude is going to be the north and south position, okay? So if I draw a line here and here, this is my latitude, my north and south, okay? What does this mean? The latitude going north and south up, obviously this is going to be also masculine energy, right? Electrical energy as well, right? Because we know electrical is up and down, and feminine or magnetic is east to west, right? So latitude is going to control how extreme your light exposure is year round. So I want you to just put into the chat that latitude is about how much. Okay? How much sun? Okay? And so what changes with latitude is the length of day versus the night. The angle of the sunlight. Seasonal hormone swings can change with the latitude. Metabolism, mood, and your immune rhythms also can change with the latitude. So when you're moving to different places and you're flying all across the world and you live in a certain place, you got to understand your latitude and longitude. I'm going to teach you something today. Okay? And so what I was trying to get you to understand is that with latitude, right? If you are 0 to 15 degrees within the equator, so this is the equator, 0 to 15 degrees away from the equator, you got a little bit more stable weather pattern. You got a little bit more stable day length, a little bit more stronger daily rhythm because of the stability of the climate. When you get to 25 to 45 degrees, right, above the equator or away from the equator, right, then this is where you get into what they would call I'm not going to say temperate climates, but what I'm going to say is there'll be a little bit more clearer seasons, okay? More adaptive rhythms. The clearer the season, the more stable the season, the better off the body can adjust. But when the season starts getting temperate, where you got 4 different climates, America, 4 different climates, South Africa, 4 different climates, Europe, you got to know how to switch your ass up. So now when you get 50 degrees further away from the equator, 50 degrees or better away from the equator, oh yes, you're in high latitudes. And this is going to be either extreme light or extreme dark. And for most of us, this is weak sunlight. So this is going to cause seasonal stress if you don't know what you're doing. So now I'm not telling you to move nowhere. I'm telling you to learn your climate. Learn how to benefit from where you at. And that's why a lot of black folk are getting sick, because they're in climates that they ain't looking at and understanding what they need to be doing. That's why a lot of white folk are getting sick. White folk are going down to the hottest places on the planet. It don't mean that their skin can't take it. It means that they're not adjusting to more than just, it's sunlight. I don't want to get sunburned. Man, this sun doing more than just making your ass dark. So you got to know what to do, and you got to adjust your lifestyle in order to be able to intake what the climate is bringing to you. So you have equatorial regions, right? Sun rises and set consistently year round in certain places. You have strong, stable circadian signaling in certain places. And humans in these places rely more on the daily rhythm than seasonal reset. And you'll see that a lot of people living in these countries like Japan and Italy and all these places with these blue zones, they are integrated into their climate. Okay? And with the higher latitudes, you get long summer days. So that's going to hamper what? That's going to make you delayed sleep, higher stimulation. And higher latitudes, you can have long winters. That's going to mess with your melanin or your melatonin dominance, your melanin, your vitamin D. You got to learn how to survive in these winter months, especially if you got darker skin, because you need more of the sunlight at a time when you got weaker sunlight. So that means you need more daylight exposure. Or you going to get sick, black man. Here's the bottom line, living in these continents. Okay. Also, you got to understand that with these higher latitudes, you at greater risk of circadian disruption. A lot of you guys are working at night and doing this type of stuff. You might not be in a climate. You might not be in an environment that's conducive to those things. And so you get this circadian rhythm disruption from what? Now you up all night watching TV, looking at your cell phone, got the lights on in your home. The farther away from the equator you are, the more seasonal discipline you're going to have. The further away that you live away from the equator, my friends, is the more seasonal discipline the body requires. You got to know thyself. Okay? That's why we're here. You got to know thyself. Okay? So everybody get that. Latitude means how much sun I get. Latitude means how much sun I get. Okay? Now, longitude is going to mean when you get it. Longitude is about the timing. Okay? So longitude is going to be here, east to west. Okay? And longitude affects when sunlight hits your body. Not the how much, but the when. And why this matters is that because clock time is not the same as solar time. So you can't be looking at your biological clock from the clock on the wall. Clock time is not solar time. It's not sun time. It's not Jesus time. Clock on the wall time is not the same time written in the Bible. Clock on the wall time is not solar time, sun time. Your body runs on solar noon, not wall clocks. Okay? Your body runs on solar noon. Somebody say solar noon, not the clock on the wall. So an example of this is how two people can be in the same time zones. One lives on the east side of town, the other one lives on the west side of town. Their bodies are in the same state, or their bodies in the same locale, but they're experiencing noon differently. You can experience noon up to an hour apart and be on the same East Coast, right? New Yorkers to Georgia. We can be on the same time zone, but we're experiencing the noon at an hour, at least an hour to 30 minutes apart. And this causes a thing of what we call social jet lag, right? Social jet lag is when you are kind of behind. You're lagging behind nature. Or you might be a little bit before, a little bit jumping ahead of nature. So you may be waking before you biologically or need to be in the morning. You might be eating before your digestive system is really ready. You might be sleeping after the melatonin should rise. Your circadian clocks, they don't care about the clock on the wall. They care about the sun's position. Your circadian biology doesn't care about calendars. They care about the sun's position. Hi, man, I have morning jet lag. Yeah, because you're going too fast. And we're going to teach you today, Miss Outshine. Okay? Thank you for telling me that. We're going to teach you today the ancient people and what they knew and how to get back into alignment with what the sun is telling you. Okay? So don't fret, my pet. We got you. Okay? All right? And you got to understand that so now we know when. Right? You got how much, and longitude is going to tell me when I get my sun. And your exact coordinates determine not only when you're going to get the sun and all this, but this is all about your cortisol rise in the morning. When your digestion peaks, that's in the afternoon. When your creativity versus your restoration dominates. All right, that's in the afternoon versus in the evening. You need to know this. You want to follow the path of the sun. Follow the son of God. God knows when to tell you when your ass resting and you ain't listening to him. God is telling you when your ass need to wake up and get on your job and you ain't listening to him. Do you understand what I'm trying to teach you? Is that you can't follow a Jesus in the Bible when that Jesus in the Bible was referring to the Jesus in the sky. And you can't follow this stuff if you ain't paying attention to what's around you. You can't learn this stuff having your head down in a book. You got to have your head up in the sky, and that's how God leads you. Your exact coordinates is going to determine how much seasonal adjustment your nervous system needs to make. And this is fundamentally why identical routines. These folks down in South Africa trying to celebrate Christmas at the same time you trying to celebrate it in North America. How the hell we ain't on the same time zone? It's hotter than a summer bitch out here. Y'all don't see me sweating. Why you freezing on them motherfucker? Do it look like Christmas down them motherfucker to an American? No. America used to cold weather, so we're not in the same. So then how could it be the same time? Identical routines don't work globally for our people. The early bird versus the night owl. Those patterns often affect us geographically. Imported lifestyles from other cultures, they will fail you in different climates. Imported lifestyles from other shit you done pulled up out of the YouTube, they will fail you when you go to different climates now. And if you don't get your ass on this dime, and that's why I'm trying to teach you this owner's manual, we need to get back looking up, not in the book. There's nobody written this stuff before, man. Nobody's teaching this but me. And I just learned this from everybody. I watched so many videos, read so many books in my little 46 years. I had to figure out what everybody talking about. This is what it was. And you got to learn how to optimize your circadian biology anywhere on earth. You got to know about where you're at on the planet to know what I need to do. If you're in weaker sunlight zones, you need to have more light exposure. And you can get that during the sunrise and the sunset. And I'm going to teach you guys later about what these sunsets and sunrises, they got lessons to them. Okay? And our ancient people knew about this stuff. Okay? They knew about understanding your temperature. They knew about understanding the light. They knew about understanding timing and seasons. See? They knew about this stuff. Like if you're in a higher latitude, if you're at a higher latitude, that means that if you are 50 degrees or higher from the equator, that's a higher latitude. So you need to embrace cold better. Black folk need to embrace cold better because America, your asses is 50 degrees or better. So Europe and all that. So when you in these places, you can't be up there scared of the cold. Oh, I'm in here, I'm in a jacket and everything. No, let your body feel some of that cold. Let that goddamn cold hit them skin so your immune system and your nervous system can start to regulate yourself in that climate. Oh, you don't went all the way down to Florida. It's hotter than the sun. You in the AC and in the shade all day. Let that sun burn your ass up and let you sweat. That's going to regulate your nervous system. So you in this low latitude place and you don't want to embrace sweating and heat. It's hot as hell in Georgia, boy. Shit, we in the AC. I ain't gonna come out there till later on this evening. You just out here in the South and don't want no heat to hit you. You up here in the North and don't want no cold. Y'all don't understand. These are principles. Longitude sets the clock. Latitude sets the season. But your body is going to listen to both of these. And when humans live as if location doesn't matter, then your circadian rhythm is going to break down. But when we live as if Earth is the healer, this regulation returns. That's why the owner's manual is important. We're teaching you about this stuff all at one time. We don't need no religious stuff. We don't need none of that. We just use this stuff as tools to make sure that we understand what's going on. Now, I teach you guys a lot of times about the 4 elements, right? And we know that the 4 elements is going to be fire, air, earth, and water, but we know that 3 of them creates the weather, right? The weather is your experience. The weather is your experience. Sun and water and air creates weather. So if I told you fire, air, earth, and water, okay? Fire and air and water creates the weather. But weather is not just the atmosphere. Weather is your consciousness and its ability to communicate between earth and light. And so you got to understand that these things are providing the environment for the body, right? The mind, the spirit, the emotions. So your emotions and your mind is going to influence the air, which is what you're breathing, your spirit, and then that in turn is going to affect the body in some way. So it is how you understand what is affecting the mind and the emotions that's going to ultimately have an effect on your body. Okay? Everybody get that? Put some ones in the chat. Or do I need to go over that again? Because I done went over this a few times. That's why I'm stopping right there. But if I need to go over this again, I want you to understand the fire, the air, and the water is all creating environment for your body. So the fire is the sun, right? The air, then you got the water right here, right? Then you got the air here, and that's going to create the experience, the weather for this body that you're in. Okay? And you'll understand that ancient people knew this stuff. Ancient people understood this. They knew that weather reflected emotional states. They knew that in long droughts, it equals emotional suppression. They knew that storms meant energetic release. They knew that the winds meant a shift in consciousness. They knew that the fog meant confusion or transition state. They knew that the clear skies meant a more coherent or peaceful state. They knew this stuff. But you talking about you claim you know Jesus and you trying to read Jesus in the book and Jesus up in your sky telling you what to do. And this is why the ancient people had temples aligned with sun paths. This is why you had rituals that they timed with the wind, with the rain, and with the seasons. Healing was seasonal, not a constant thing that you got to keep doing every day. I told you healing is a permanent thing. So most of the time you don't need it until you need it. And when you get it, you got it, you're good. It's not an own, you just forever always got to be healed from something. Come on now. You ain't doing something right. So we knew that when a heat wave comes, that we have to watch out for burnout. We knew that when there's a cold snap came in, we got to watch out for depression. We knew that when the wind blew, got to watch out for anxiety. We knew that when the rain poured, got to watch out for crying and emotional states. We knew that when the fog came, got to watch out for uncertainty. Come on, man. I don't know what else to do with this, man. This thing here so serious, cuz y'all keep tapping, I'll keep talking. All right? We knew these things. We knew that when the clear skies was there, it was going to be a good day. Huh? And the reason why modern humans are struggling today, because modern life is trying to counsel the weather pattern in your life. They're trying to control the climate. They're trying to ignore the seasons. The reason why modern humans are struggling today is because you have forgotten all about the rhythmic flow of life. And when we silence the communication of earth, ain't no reason to wonder why we feel disconnected from God. And a lot of you have been praying to God for things, and God is putting weather patterns in your life that you can't decipher. Trying to answer, but you're too ignorant to understand. And we got to get rid of the ignorance. I ain't mad at you being ignorant, but we got to know what that is. We got to know what mamas. We got to know what God is saying. And you need to know that weather is not something that is happening to you. It's something that is happening with you. And when you understand that aspect of weather, you stop resisting your emotions. You stop forcing productivity. You start moving with the cycles of life. And healing becomes alignment, not necessarily effort. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, I accept. So the core formula that you go out with is to understand that fire, the mind, the sun, is instruction. It's information, info. You need that to create your environment. The second thing you need to understand is water, the emotions. That's the memory. Okay? That's the memory, right? And then the next thing you need to understand is now you got to make it move, baby. You got to make it move. You need information, and then you need to rememberize this stuff that I'm teaching you, and then you need to make it move in your move in your life. And when you do that, that's when you get information, instruction, you rememberize it, and then you make it move in your life. That creates the experience for the body. That creates the experience for the body. That creates the experience for the body. And this same formula is going to help your mood, it's going to help your health, it's going to help your relationships, it's going to help your creativity, it's going to help your collective consciousness, and ultimately it's going to add for you to be the best human possible. Abundance in every category. Abundance in every category. If you understand this formula, It's going to help your mood, your health, your relationships, your creativity, and your collective consciousness. That's helping us be better human beings. And I don't know if somebody know information on how to do this, but we are learning it today. Okay? We are learning it today. All right? We're learning it today. And so even if we taught you guys about the chakras, right? So even if we taught you about the chakras, now we know all this information. Again, you guys, the information is in the owner's manual. If you guys are interested in your owner's manual for that little funky measly $50, you can go and get it on the website, or you can DM us and somebody will get you there. But now let's talk about these 7 chakras, right? So I got them right here. So let's just say that the root chakra is going to be cold. Okay, that's number 1. The sacral chakra is going to be what? Anybody know the sacral chakra? Anybody know the sacral chakra? So you got cold. This is going to be rain. The solar plexus is going to be hot. Windy. In the heart chakra. You got cold, you got rain, you got hot, windy, dry, stormy, and clear skies. Now we know what weather pattern you got going on just from your birthday. Okay, just from your birthday. So the root chakra is all about the earth. It's all about pressure, stability. Okay, this is the cold fronts of life. Drought, heaviness, fillness. Okay, this is when you're just all acclimated with survival. You're in the survival mode. The grounding, safety, all this type of stuff. Now, when this thing is balanced, you're calm, you're good to go. You don't suffer from anxiety or stress. But when this thing is imbalanced, okay, that's what arthritis can come from. Fear, rigidity. You could be a hoarder. Okay, you have this scarcity mindset, this feeling that you're froze or stuck in place. All this can come in being in the cold. A lot of us are stuck in the root chakra, right? Remember that this is the root chakra. Okay, this is the root. Let's go ahead and identify these. So this is the root. This is the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the thyroid, or what they would call, I ain't gonna say the thyroid, I'm gonna say your throat, the third eye, and the pineal, or the crown chakra. I don't know why I go by biology, man. I go by the glands. I don't go by this chakra shit. So that's why I be forgetting about that. I put body parts up there. All right, but anyway, the root, the sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, the crown chakra. These are cold, rain, hot, windy. By your birthday, because we already know these. So now we know about the vitamins and minerals. We know about the weather patterns. Birthday, it's got everything in it. This is why the ancients used this. Okay, so the sacral chakra also. All right, water flow, the emotions. So a lot of times, this is where our tears come from. Okay, the tears come from the relationships and the emotional stuff. That's when it's raining in your life, right? Peace, peace, you guys. Peace, peace. So you see that this stuff has so many different ways for you to understand your body, okay? And you need to understand why humans will generate internal weather patterns, okay? Because we are atmospheric beings. That's why, duh. You are 70% water, damn near like the earth, okay? Your nervous system uses electrical signals. You breathe air, fire, air, earth, water, right? Your metabolism, it produces heat. You contain the same ingredients as weather. So that's why you're generating internal weather. Now, the fix is to combine your understanding of your internal weather with the weather outside. Okay, emotions are energy. Emotions are energy, and they're also memory. moving through your waters. So again, the tears, rain could equal the tears. The heat wave, it could equal to anger. The windstorm could cause you anxiety. The low pressure systems can cause you grief. When your emotions are moving, when your waters are moving, and when you're just feeling life and you're flowing with the Son of God, that's healthy. When you're suppressing in these things, that's when you're going to get a disease. Okay? And so our old ancient people came up with an understanding of the 5 sons. Okay? And the 5 sons, I'm going to have to erase this, you guys, but this is what it is. So cold, rain, hot, windy, dry, stormy, and clear skies. You're going to have this in your life and internally in your body. Okay? And what we got to do is be able to learn how to balance these climatic weather patterns out within our life and on a daily basis. You got to be able to learn how to do that. And that's what we're teaching you in your owner's manual, okay? So now in ancient Egypt, there was 5 sons, okay? So let's just say that this circle right here, you see we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So this circle right here, it was basically, I think this is the right way to spell it, right? Keper, right? Keper or Kefer. That was like the morning sun, okay? And so this was between 4 to 7 a.m., all right? And then you had Ra, all right? Ra was between 7 to 11 a.m. Now, these meant something, though, to them, right? Then after Ra, you had And I know y'all ain't never heard of these Egyptian gods before because y'all don't know this information, man. But we're going to show you how they used to do it, and they used to use the same thing, okay? Is between what? 11 to 1 p.m. Okay, then you had Atum. Atum was between what? 1 to 4 p.m. And then you had Amen, right? Amen was between 4 and 7 p.m. And these were the 5 sons, okay? These were the 5 sons. And ancient Egypt didn't worship one sun. I don't even think they worshiped the sun, period. They just understood it. They understood the sun as a multi-phase intelligence. And this multi-phase intelligence was something that moved through our states of consciousness, through time and through the human body. That's why they call it the Son of God. That's why it was written about in so many different literatures. Okay? And what we're calling the 5-son theory, Egyptians already knew about the effects and the influence of this stuff. They already knew about that one solar force expressing itself through 5 different principles. Listen to that. They knew about that one solar force expressing itself through 5 functional modes, through 5 different ways. And it can happen cosmically, atmospherically, biologically, psychologically, and spiritually. Okay? That's why this thing is such a big thing. And the thing about it is that the Son of God is not a thing. The Son of God is not a thing. Somebody put that in the chat. The Son of God is not a thing. The Son of God is not a thing. It's a process of becoming. The Egyptians were tracking how solar intelligence can descend into matter and then rise right back up into spirit. Do you understand that? They were looking at this and they were like, how in the world can this solar intelligence come down into matter and rise back up into the spirit daily, seasonally, and across a human lifetime? It's just doing it like clockwork. This descension and ascension is what you're trying to copy, my brothers and sisters. But you're trying to ascend and ain't nobody teaching you descension. Okay? And you got to know that attune and all these different things. This was the becoming, Kepher. This time here is the becoming, the rising sun, right? Ra, the active sun. That's the midday, right? So that's the overarching, but that's your midday. Atum. What was Atum trying to tell him to do? Start to rest. Let's start to wrap it up. Okay? And then Amen. That's when you'll go ahead and start to get into your not your mitochondria, but your melatonin starts to produce, and that's when you're starting to get into the synchronization of Earth. Okay? But these things were teaching them something. Some of you guys are in Capri and you're trying to do other things. You understand me? And when you learn what the Son of God is teaching you in these times throughout your day, when you learn what God is saying through the Son of God is telling you something. God's trying to tell you something, but you got to hear it again in nature, sweetie. It's not in the book, not from a man's mouth, from the mouth of nature. And when you learn how to wake up with intention way before action, see, Kefri is saying you need to have intention first. Don't get up and start doing shit. Contemplate. Have intention. Then you can start the actions. Then you can come to the release stage. Then you can come to the integration stage. And then you can come to the stillness stage. And when you do that, that's when you have a healthy day. That's when you have a healthy life. That's when you have a healthy nervous system, you, my brothers and sisters, and that's when you're producing a healthy climate in and outside of the body. Egypt didn't fight weather. They read it. They knew what flooding meant. They knew what a dry season meant. They knew what a windy season meant. They knew what clear skies meant. The Nile was never a river to them. It was a circulatory system of nature, and they'd be able to learn from that what was needed. The Nile River, it wasn't a river, it was a circulatory system that they were learning from. And the reason why this knowledge was lost is because the modern society of the day, the modern systems, we're stuck in raw. We're stuck in raw. All right? The modern systems, we're stuck in raw. Okay? And you're stuck in raw all day. And my point to you is that you can't do that. You have to change. You have to listen to God. God is changing you every day. He's telling you, you got to do this, okay? At this time, saying this. But you thinking the Bible on Sunday is teaching you about God. So I'm trying to teach you that the modern systems want you to stay stuck in raw. So then raw is the God. And then the modern systems want you to fear. Attune. Oh, attune. I don't want to go in no tune. But this is rest. I don't want to go in no amen. So you're ignoring attune. You got fear of amen. And you're overstimulated in Kepri. So you're stuck in raw, overstimulated in Kepri. You're ignoring Amen, and you got fear from Atum. You ain't gonna never be able to get into sync with nature. Egypt taught solar circulation, not solar worship. Okay? You never was meant to stay in one sun. Health is moving through all 5 phases of the sun daily. Okay? You were never meant to stay under one sun, you guys. And when you look at this, you'll see that these are 5 stages of the sun happening in a course of 3 seasons, right? Because they had 3 seasons. So when you're looking at that 3 seasons were 4 months apiece, right? If they had 3 seasons, that's 4 months apiece. If you got 5 suns in a 24-hour time span, then what you got to do? I mean, in a 120-year life, so 5 divided by 120, or 120 years divided by 5 gives you what? 24 hours in a day. Listen to me. 5 suns across a 120-year lifespan is going to give you 24 years apiece, which means that you are going to do 7.1 years of these particular 12 zodiacs. But they didn't do zodiac back then. They did this, what I'm teaching you. You see that? Before zodiac, it was this. Okay? Before zodiac, it was this, you guys. All right? And again, you had the becoming, the rising sun in you. Some of us are in that phase of life where we're just becoming. Okay? We're just becoming. And then some of us are at that phase in life where we need to be active. Okay? That active sun. All right? Now you need to know where you at. Some of us is at that phase where we're returning. You see? You're returning to something. Some of us is at that phase where we're at the zenith. You need to know, what is God telling me to do? What is God telling me to do? And each of these things create something inside of you. Egypt understood something that modern science is just now rediscovering. Each solar phase generates a different internal climate within us. Kefri is about wind and clarity, but when unbalanced, if resisted, it can cause you anxiety. Remember that Kefri is about intent. A lot of times when we're moving without understanding what we're doing, right? You say, get a moment to understand, what am I doing today, before I just start doing stuff. And when you start getting a moment to ask yourself, what are you doing today? Then guess what? It clears anxiety. But when you resist and just moving without knowing, that creates the anxiety. The raw, if you don't understand, that's going to create the anger. The if you don't understand it, can create the emptiness. The atum, if you don't understand it, can create burnout. Amen, if you don't understand what God is telling you when it's in the position of amen, it can create insomnia. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Put some ones in the chat if you get what I'm saying. You guys, please keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Humans suffer not because the weather changes. You're suffering because you're just trying to stay in raw all day. Because that's what they've been teaching you. Raw. Jaman, Rahman. You have 5 different phases. So right now, you're at the time between what? You're in raw. Right? Well, now I'm on between 10 and 12. So let's just say we're in raw and we're going into When do you eat? When do you sleep? When do you think? When do you do? When do you rest? Anybody got those questions? So you'll know that your ass is not going, you're not following the Son of God. Your relationship with the Son of God is ill and void because you haven't been taught this in the way that it needs to be taught. But today we're going to do it. And this is live on TikTok, live on YouTube. If you miss it, go somewhere and get this information. They may try to block it, but they can't block out the sun. They can't block out the sun, baby. Okay? And so understanding this, Jesus and the Son is trying to give you nervous system codes throughout your day. So Kefri is trying to tell you that when you wake up in Kefri, you need to orient yourself. Nothing is created without orientation. Even the Bible tells you that they said, let there be light before it was light. They had to be oriented first. So Kefri is saying in the morning between 4 and 7, get oriented without the cell phone or the TV screen or the radio. You orient yourself. Kefri. Ra is telling you that, okay, now we ready. Let's go ahead and exude the energy that we need. And let's spend our energy wisely in this time frame. So you'll see from 7 to 11, that's when you got the most energy. Then Un is saying, let's digest life a little bit. So then that's when lunch, and that's when you're supposed to be eating in noontime. So that's why they made lunchtime, lunch break. You've been following this shit, but you don't know it. They know it. The systems have been following the oldest system on the planet, but the people don't know the systems. Attune is a time for you. Attune. This is a time for you to start closing the loops. Let me write this down. How many of you guys need for me to write this down? Put some ones in the chat. Please keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Once we get to 100K, I'll write that back down. I ain't going to let y'all start. I'm working too hard today. This is going to be a long one. I might have to do a part 2 of this, okay? Because it's already 6:12. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. All right? If you need for me to write it down, let's get to 100K. Let's go. We already back behind. Okay? Let's go. Capri is about what? Orientation. 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 Get your intentions together before you start acting. Okay? Ra is about spending the energy. Okay? Spending the energy. So right now we're in the energy phase. All right? And then you're going to get on over to and that's your digesting life. This is when you should be eating. Okay? You're digesting life. Okay? Attune. These time frames mean it's time to start closing shop. All right? Now, and when I was in corporate America, they used to say you need to have you need to be able to keep everybody in the loop, an email loop, right? So in here, you have to close the loops. So now from 1 to 4, it's time to shut down. It's time to get off work. It's time to start closing up. It's time to, but see, a lot of us start taking work home. And you're not listening. How is your relationship with the Son of God? You don't listen to God in your life. And you talking about you listening to it in the Bible. No, you're not. The real way you listening to God is He's speaking to you in nature. And you're bucking the system on all of this. You ain't really eating right at lunchtime. You ain't really exuding the energy during this time. You just getting up and going instead of orientation. You ain't really closing no loop because shit, you said you're gonna go home and finish it. I'm gonna go home and finish it. No, you got to close these loops. And then when you get into Amen, this is about understanding that restoring yourself is of the essence. Okay? Restoration. Jesus is telling you this every day. When you gonna listen? How is your relationship with the Son of God? This is circadian biology. This is the chakra regulation and the emotional weather, all unified into one. You get this with your owner's mate. Disease is because you don't know nature and your nature and how they should integrate and marry one another. Healing is solar obedience, sun obedience, but you don't know the Son of God. This ain't about belief. This ain't about worship. This is about alignment. I don't need you to believe in this. It'll still work for you. So don't get this twisted. This is not a meditation. This is not some kind of belief exercise. I'm giving you straight up and down biological, nervous system, elemental experiences that the Egyptians lived daily, way before we had microscopes and telescopes. They knew the scope of life. And we got to be able to know how to do this stuff, how to get into our kepher, our active sun. Do you know which sun you're in? Twyla said, let me take a pic. Yeah, y'all always trying to steal my stuff. Twyla, this, hey, look, this stuff here is a trademark, okay? This thing here trademark, because you won't find it nowhere else, baby, but I'm going to move out your way. Go ahead and do your thing, okay? Why this works, you guys? Because this is science without science, okay? Why this works is because it's science without science. It's knowing the language of God. It's knowing the language of nature. I've been teaching you guys that Egyptians already knew that light does something to your hormones. They knew that breath moves your emotions. They knew that timing has a lot to do with your health. And they knew that weather, the inside and the outside, must match each other. And when you resist the sun of God in your life, your body creates these internal storms. And they try to literally force regulation. But remember that this can't be forced. And so understanding this practice, it helps you, it prevents you from getting into these situations by allowing circulation to take place, movement, emotionally, spiritually, everything needs to circulate. Okay? So now I'm going to ask you guys, and y'all want to come up on the chat, you can put me in the chat, but I want to know, what's your internal weather pattern right now? Do you know your weather pattern? When we teach you guys about windy, heavy, hot, cold, rainy, dry, clear, quiet, what's your weather pattern right now? And the thing about it is not to try to fix your weather. Just let the weather be. Let the weather move. Remember circulation. The earth don't stop the hurricane. The earth don't stop the earthquake. The earth don't stop the thunderstorms. The earth don't stop the rain. The earth don't stop the tornado. It let it happen. And you create tornadoes and hurricanes and typhoons and earthquakes within you. But you keep trying to suppress it and stop it. I got to control this earthquake. Yeah, it's going to get a disease. I got a tornado in me, but I got to hold my composure. Yeah, it's going to get cancer. I got a typhoon in me, but I can't let nobody know. Your ass gonna goddamn break down from anxiety and depression. You understand what I'm saying? Let it happen. Stop suppressing. Damn. Stop suppressing this shit, making yourself sick, man. Making your ass smoke and drink and eat crazy, work crazy, fuck crazy because your ass can't get it out. Gotta talk to somebody. Let it out. So come to the show. We'll get you to let it out. If nothing else, you come here, we gonna get it out. Your health is about being obedient to the rhythm. It's not about discipline of will. It's about obedience to the rhythm. That's the Son of God. How is your relationship to the rhythm of this relationship between you and what you call your God? And you'll understand that in this situation that I'm teaching you, there's no gods needed. There's no belief required here. Again, just alignment. And this is the core of the relationship between you and the Son. So where are you? Are you becoming? Are you active? Are you at your zenith? Where are you at? Or do you know? Are you returning? Or are you the hidden son? And a lot of people don't know that all this stuff is still oriented biologically, because guess what? I can erase these and put down some biology. People say, well, how do you know it? The spend energy and orientation. And okay, let me give you something that you might like. From 4 to 7 a.m., your cortisol goes up. Okay, biologically. Okay, let's give you something that you might like. Okay, from 7 to 10 or from 7 to 11 a.m., guess what? Dopamine and your motor functions are working better at this time. Okay, so dopamine. Then we're producing your own medicine. So right now we're at dopamine and motor function time. Then from 11 to 1, we what? Digestion peak. Why are you eating before your digestive system is ready? Breakfast folk. Breakfast folk. Why are you eating before your digestive system is ready? Now, if you feel hungry, you do your thing, but I'm just asking you, are you listening to the Son of God? What's your relationship like with God? He'll tell you when to eat. Huh? He'll tell you when to eat. So this time right here is going to be energy descent. Okay? Energy descent. That means that you should be coming down, closing the loop, for trying to finish up your day. Why are you bringing work home for? Why are you doing so much at home after 4 p.m.? Okay? And then last but not least is your melatonin prep, right? Prepping yourself for bed. But if you in the house using false lighting, blue light, screen light, TV light, using fluorescent lights in your house, thinking because you got a little fancy house, you're using all the wrong lighting because you're not listening to God tell you it's time to rest. And so you made your house out of another amusement, excite, another work atmosphere at a time that you. So what I'm saying to you is, what is your relationship with God? You're not listening to the Son of God in a book or in a sky. And you keep forcing biology to fit society. And that's not how this shit works. You got to start letting your biology lead you, not society. You trying to make your body do some shit that your mind just don't want to do. You can't keep doing that. It'll break you down. Your body got to let you know when your ass wake up in the morning and you don't feel like doing it. That's what you need to call your boss man and say, I don't feel like day. And fuck a sick day. I got some I don't feel like days, because there's gonna be some days that I ain't gonna be sick, but there's gonna be some days I don't feel like it. Even though I ain't sick, you can give me all these goddamn sick days. I ain't gonna never be sick that much, but I am gonna have some I don't feel like it coming in. Can I transition in? I need some I don't feel like it days. The weather only becomes a storm when you're resisting it. Your health is about timing, not effort. Health is about permission, not force. These are core principles, not people. And when you're living under this particular understanding, you got to get this right. So I've had some of those days, I already know. And you got to understand that you're going to have some of those days. I told y'all it's 4 days you're going to have. So you're going to have some energetic days. You're going to have some emotional days. You're going to have some of them days where you're tired. And you're going to have some quiet days. And that's got to be fine. My wife asked me yesterday, what's wrong with you? You got them one of them days. You better listen to Monica. Start goddamn asking me. Yeah, better listen to Monica. I'm from Atlanta. Monica from, it's just one of them days. And I'm a Gemini. I'm going to have days where I'm not going to be always uppity and going and woo-woo. And hell, you're going to have them too. So there's no reason for us to try to stipulate what a good day look like, because it ain't always going to be an energetic good day like that. I can still have a good day emotionally if you allow it to move. I can still have a good day quietly if you allow it to move. Let me express the quiet day. Let me express the emotional day. Excuse me. Let me express the tired day. But what we do is we try not to be tired. We try not to be quiet. We try not to be emotional. All we want is that go day. Because we know that that's your best day. But God trying to tell you that the other ones mean something too. The other ones are just as valuable. Because when you start ignoring Atun and Adam and Amen, let's just say you start ignoring energy and melatonin prep. That's depression. When you start ignoring Kepper and you've been intentional, that can cause anxiety. When you start ignoring Ra, that's when you're getting exhausted and fatigued all the time and you burn out. Today is my BD getting going today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I accept you. You're very active on the live today. I appreciate you very much. Hopefully, we have said something that can help you, right? Encourage you and get you to understand. Okay, so if you guys have never heard of Kepri, if you never heard of these names, okay, Kepri is basically potential organizing itself, right? So that's the becoming, that's the sunrise, okay? So that's when it goes from day, it goes from night to light, right? It goes from darkness to light, the dawn, 4 to 7 a.m. So this is when it's going from darkness to light, okay? And then we have a whole nother time of when it goes from light to dark, okay? So you'll find that Aket was a season, right? It was the summer season, but Aket was about who? The two, Kepper and Amen. You see? So they called the scarab beetle. Okay, the scarab beetle was Kepri. And the scarab doesn't push the sun, it orients it. Remember, no action before orientation. So this is the moment that darkness has fully left the light. But it's also a moment where light hasn't fully arrived yet. Are you in that place? Is when your consciousness is choosing which direction to go. Are you in the Kepper of life? We can teach you this with your owner's manual. And the Egyptians understood Kepper in the beginning of your day or in that season of life as the mental genesis of life. You know, when you're just getting started, when you're just waking up, you know, you ain't quite out of your sleep yet, but you ain't quite ready to work yet. And that's Kepper or Kepri, however you want to call it, or Capri. I ain't Egyptian, so I ain't going to make these words right, and I don't give a damn. Okay? Kepri, Capri, whatever it is, we don't care nothing about the names really. All we care about is that these are languages that God is talking. That's all I really care about. And this language that God is talking is not in English. It's in vibration. It's in a subtle understanding of your nature within nature. Okay? So we got to understand these things. So we need to know which one are you in. Okay? Which one are you in? Ra. A lot of people don't know about Ra, but a lot of people do know about Ra because this is the name that everybody probably knows more than the other ones. But Ra is when consciousness is fully embodied. It's not wisdom, it's not morality, but Ra is equal to power. And Egypt did not confuse Ra with enlightenment. Ra is simply execution energy, getting it done, the doing. Okay? The doing. And you're going to need energy to do. Okay? You're going to need that energy to do. So in your Ra, you got to be ready, baby. And again, Ra is happening at this time of the day, but it's also happening in your life. Do you know if you're in Ra? The owner's manual will teach you how. The owner's manual will teach you how. Okay? But this is your doing. This is your building. This is your your shit phase. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't your shit phase. Now you got to get it. Okay. And then you got Un. A lot of people never heard of Un. But Un is alignment because this is where heaven and earth meets, right? The Un. The Un is here, noon. Noon came from Un. Okay? And this is where the sun casts its shortest shadow. That means that when the sun is sitting up in noon, there's nowhere for you to hide from the sun. As long as the sun is coming at angles, there's always going to be a shadow that you can go get up on the tree. But when that motherfucker up there like that, it's hiding in some bitches, ain't too many shade places. So you'll see that when the sun is in there's no hiding places. Everything is enlightened. Everything is out. Everything is exposed. Is alignment, where nothing is hidden and nothing is exaggerated. And this is why you got temples that were aligned to or to noon. You got major decisions that are made at noon. You got a healing rituals that occur in the noon. Is the truth without drama. But did you know that in noon, you have peak insulin sensitivity? Did you know that was the best time for you to digest food? So you find a lot of people got type 2 diabetes and type 1 diabetes because they're not eating at the right times. But or noon is the best time for your body to process food. Or noon is the best time for your body to process emotion. This is also the best time for your body to process information. Are you in Who would know? Who would know? Who would know? Are you in Okay? And then you got Atum. Atum is completion. Simple. Atum is completion. Always having about completion, and that's why we are telling you guys about closing the loops up, right? Completing your day. Okay, this is not about death, it's not about collapse, but it's just that you're returning to source through closure. Okay, you're returning to source through closure. You got to have an end of your day. He created the world in 6 days and rested on 7. These are principles, not people. Even Egypt, at some point, they considered stopping the sacred intelligence. Why? Because there is a completion phase. Okay? And in this type of stuff, your energy should be naturally declining around this time. 1 to 4, close it up. But you guys are, I work at night. What it say about somebody that work from 12 a.m. to 11? Your ass is out of order. That's what it's saying to you. When you gonna let your biology lead instead of your economy lead? Okay. You'll see that also here in Atum, your blood sugar is going to start to do what? Stabilize or either crash. The nervous system starts to get ready to ground itself here. But you can't do that if you ain't going home to this. If you don't know this, if you ain't listening to the Son of God tell you that when that sun start going down, that means that your goddamn objectives need to start going down. When that sun start going down on your ass, that means that you need to start closing up your issues with people. When that motherfucker start going down, that's Jesus telling you that it's time to start closing shop. See, you need to start learning how to listen to the Son of God. How is your relationship with God? They're going to be mad at me after this, y'all. They're going to be mad at me after this one. But we had to do it, okay? And last but not least is a word that you're using called Amen. And Amen is where the sun goes to heal itself. And when the sun goes invisible, it does not mean it's absent. When the sun is hidden, that don't mean it's gone. And this amen is the gestation of the day, taking in the day. Amen is the gestation of the day. It's not disappearance, it's gestation of what I just went through today, of the relationship between me and God had today. Was I up when he said up? Did I rest when he said rest? Did I close out when she said close out? Was I in stillness when she? So it's the relationship, and then you gestate that relationship at the end of the day. How well did we do today with each other? This is what the owner's manual is exposing to you. This is the integration between you and nature. And this is what you get every day in the palm of your hand. Any other questions? We almost at 100K. Love the frequency. What is it? Just some radio stuff. Why would I advertise? I mean, I didn't make the music. He ain't my homeboy. He ain't my friend. I ain't gonna get no money for telling you who it is. But I sure appreciate you for that. I've been playing this for the last 4-5 years. So I'm pretty sure I made this brother, sister, whoever made it, a lot of money. Because I played this every single day since 2018. I just started putting on new music, and we all know this is a 3-hour video. I do 2-hour videos, so if I'm doing 2-hour lives for the last 3-4 years, whoever YouTube that is, I done fed them, but I ain't getting no money back. So hey, it is what it is. Okay, it is what it is. Any questions? Yeah, thank you. It's called African meditation flute music. I don't know if you'll be able to get that, but African meditation flute music. Okay. How many of you guys are feeling some of this stuff right here? Fogginess. I'm gonna put this back up here really quick. I gotta get up out of here, you guys. If you guys are interested in anything that we talked about today, if you're looking for blood pressure tea, if you're looking for blood sugar tea, if you're looking for cancer, if you're looking for the best detox on the planet, if you're looking for any products, yes, we do have them on the website. All you got to do is go to the website. The link is in the bio. Get what you need. But if you're looking for healing and you're really trying to get a very intricate a health assessment, the owner's manual for that funky measly $50, that's what we do. But now, how many of you guys are dealing with the stuff that we talked about before, like the anxiety, the burnout, the emptiness, the fatigue, the insomnia? How many are dealing with that? Because a lot of times when you got anxiety, it's because you probably violated Kepri. Okay? And when you got burnout, it's because you probably violated Ra. Manissa. Yeah, you've been violating your mornings. Your mornings. Your mornings need to start with intention, Manissa, not action. So I can tell you what you've been violating. The mornings. Okay, your mornings. You've been violating. Okay? Your mornings you've been violating. And so we want you to start being more intentional with your mornings, not always trying to get up and go. Okay? The burnout, right? So you violated Ra. So from that time from 11 to 7. From 7 to 11, love. You really need to get up and start doing right there. Okay? But you don't always do. That's the time to do from 7 to 11. Follow the other codes, okay? So that violated Ra because you're overstaying you're overstaying in Ra, and that's why you're doing the burnout. Okay? If you're feeling emptiness, it's because you're missing If you feel fatigue, it's because you're ignoring Atun. If you have insomnia, it's because something is stealing your amen. Okay? From 7 to 11. All right? Insomnia, because I use the blue light almost as much as I breathe. Yes, so that means that you're violating amen. Okay? I accept. You're violating amen. Okay, that's a sun. The sea suns. Remember, these are the 5 sea suns. Right? You got sea, sons. Okay? The C sons. These are your C sons. You got 5 of them. And most people are not sick. You just miss time. You're off time. And the calendars and all this stuff got us off time. That's why I'm trying to put y'all back. I work out starting around 6:30 a.m. Why would you work out? That's too early to start working out. Bursy bull. Okay? I wake up at 3, making me question myself. Yes, you're waking up at 3. That means you're violating our men. You need to sleep. Okay? You need to sleep. And if you're waking up at 3 because something is bothering you, most time when people waking up at 3 is because you're violating our men again. You're stressed. Something's going on in the mind. You're not sleeping. And it's because you probably watch TV or you got the cell phone around you or something like that. Or maybe there's a physical issue. Maybe you got to pee or something, and then you get up and pee and then go back and you can't sleep again. But either way, whether it's physical or psychological, you can't keep breaking cycle like that, because that 3 to 4, that's really, really intricate time for your REM, your good sleep, and your rest and repair. Okay? And your rest and repair. What's a good time to work out? 7 to 10, 7 to 11, doing raw. Okay? Doing raw. If you want to work out, you work out doing raw. And so, Jesus even knew this stuff, you guys, okay? Jesus even knew this stuff. Jesus went through these things as well. These are processes. And Jesus didn't defeat death by force. He defeated it by timing. Egypt didn't worship the sun, you guys. They just obeyed the rhythm of nature. And honestly, your body is asking you to do the same thing. It's asking you to go through the process. It's asking you to get in the rhythm of nature. And you keep going against the grain. You guys got a lot of allergies. You guys got a lot of issues going on. It's because you're not fit for nature. But you were designed to be. How could you not be fit for nature? And so right now, instead of us being fit for nature, we need to be wise. We need to be wise. Where do you learn the process of the rhythm of nature? With your owner's manual. Okay, when you get your owner's manual, that's going to be how you get back into alignment. We got all of that stuff for you there. Okay, anything else? Yes, a definite rewatch for me too. Great teaching. Oh yeah. I know a lot of people going to go back. What time should we wake up? You should wake up between the times of what we just showed you, right? From 4 to 7. 4 to 7 is wake up time because that's sunrise. Okay. So if you really want the best kefir, okay, let me teach y'all this really quick, and then I'm going to get up out of here, you guys. We got about 17 more minutes. So kefir, right? When you wake up in the morning, HerbMan, what should I do? Sit there for a minute, contemplate, get your intentions and your thoughts together. Way before you go and brush your teeth, wash your ass, way before you go and move and do anything, shit, piss, anything. In the morning, sit still, breathe, and then walk outside. 30 minutes to an hour after you wake up, you should have already had some outside exposure. Don't cut on the TV and look at the weatherman. Go out there. If it's cold as hell, get it. If it's hot as hell, get it. If it's raining, get it. If it's windy, get it. So you'll know. You'll know, not the weatherman. And that's kefir or kefir. You see? When I wake up in the morning, 30 minutes to an hour, when I wake up, anyway, I got to go shit anyway in that time frame, so I got to go. But I'm going to go outside and get me that sunlight, get me that air, get me everything that I need. And I don't need to get that nothing but for a good old 3 to 4, 5 minutes. But I just sit out there cold as fuck. Okay, I know it's cold today. I'm at the woo. Hot as hell, but it gives me information because I'm listening to the Son of God. I got a relationship with Jesus. I got a relationship with the Son. I even moved closer to get too closer to him. Hey, you talking about I moved out of America, get closer to the Son. So we know we got a good working relationship. You see? And so then you understand the language of what God is telling you, some days you wake up, it's going to be raining. Some days you wake up, it's going to be windy. Some days you wake up, it's going to be stormy. Some days you wake up, it's going to be sunny. Some days you wake up, it's going to be cold. Some days you wake up, it's going to be clear skies. But you need to understand, what is God trying to tell me? And you keep being ignorant of this because you think it's you just supposed to look in a book. You can't look in no book for this information. Shawty, y'all gotta know this shit. You see what I'm saying? You can't keep on looking in no book. That's why it's not doing nothing no more, because it nothing real. It's really not formulating something real to you. But I don't know where y'all at. But right now it is. So it should be about 12:46 on the East Coast, right? 12:46. How is the weather? What is that telling you? What do you need to do to get in alignment with that day? What's the weather like today? Somebody tell me where you at. What's the weather like? What time is best to eat your first meal? Noon. Noontime, right? We said noontime. For me, I look at the sun. The sun is going through Taurus. So from 8 to 10 a.m., that's your earth element, which is a good time if you're hungry to eat breakfast. Okay? Then you got Cancer right here from 12 to 2. That's a water break for me. But then also you got Virgo from 4 to 6 a.m. That's another earth sign, so you can eat your dinner then. But when you eat your dinner in here, that's fine because you're in Ra. Ra is the best time. I mean, you're in I'm sorry. So is the best time to eat. It's 11:46 in Virginia. So 11:46. So from what we just said, you just crossed over. Okay, you just crossed over into which one? So this will be the best time to eat because your digestive system is ready now. Okay. Me in New York, 41 degrees. So 41 degrees, I don't know if it's raining or whatever, but that seemed like a cold and dry day or either a cold and wet day. Balance yourself with that. I accept. Okay? Manissa, you telling me the time. I said tell me the degrees. 45 degrees and sunny. Okay, so that's a cold and dry day, right? That's a cold and dry day. Anything below 68 to 70 degrees is going to be cold. So that's a cold and dry day in pursuit of peace. So balance yourself out with cold and dry. That means you need hot and wet foods. So that means you need to be eating more foods that are more soup-based, that are more vegetable-based, because that's the hydration in the vegetables, hydration in your soups, in your stews, in your teas, hot and wet on a cold and dry day. Blizzards in Michigan, Joni. Blizzards is going to be cold and wet. Okay. Al, 60 in California. That's going to be a cold and dry day. Okay. 60 in Cali, that's a cold and dry. Right. So cold and dry, especially for Californians, you guys need to go hot and wet. Hot tea, hot stews, hot soups with the vegetables. Okay. I'm eating lunch right now, chicken soup. Okay, cool. 65 in Florida, so that's more or less 65 in Florida. I still got to say cool, right? So I don't know Florida if it's humid or not, but it could be cool and dry. So you do the same thing, hot and wet. Okay, 9 degrees in the UK. See, that's what I'm trying to tell you. When you're in the UK and all that type of stuff, and you're 9 degrees, man, woo-wee, you know what you need to be doing because your body ain't built for that. Your body ain't built for that. But you go out there, you get used to it. You can still enjoy the sunset, and you can still enjoy the sunrise. Even in the wintertime, even in cloudy days, even in overcast, whatever kind of days, you can still go get your sunlight. So try to get the sunrise and the sunset of each day. No matter if it's cold. No matter how cold it is, you try to get that. But if it's in the UK, that's cold and dry. If it's raining, that'll be cold and wet. So you guys need to, again, hot soups, stews, and hot teas. I love the cold. Cool. Just make sure that you get more sun exposure in cooler climates. Okay? 55 in Los Angeles. Make sure you're getting that sunlight. Okay? Make sure you guys are getting that sunlight. I know y'all in Christmas time and in winter over there, but make sure you guys are getting that sunlight because right now it's summer here. So I'm below the equator. So it's winter where you at, and that's summer where I'm at. So I'm getting good sun. Matter of fact, I ain't had no winter here in the summer. So I done got damn near a whole year of sunlight. But I'm appreciative. How long do you need to be outside in the morning? That just all depends on your skin color. So the darker the skin, the longer the sun exposure. The lighter the skin, you don't need that much, right? So white folks and light skinned folks, 15 to 30 minutes in good sunlight, not the UV. So we're not talking about being out in the noon. 8 to 10 a.m. in the morning is good sunlight exposure. 4 to 6 or 6 to 8 p.m. in the sunrise. So I said sunrise and sunset. If you do sunrise and sunset, you can get all that sun. If you can stay out there for 2-3 hours as a black person, you can get that good sun. But if you a light-skinned person, white-skinned person, you wouldn't need to stay out there in that light for 2 hours. I mean, 15, 30 minutes and you download the light. Okay? So the darker the skin, the longer the sun exposure. You need to stay out longer because the melanin protects you from the sun. So it's going to be like a sun blocker. So you need more sun exposure to break through. All right. Anybody else got any other questions, man? If there's no other questions, I'm finna get up out of here. You guys look, how is your relationship with the sun? Hopefully you guys get this. If you're trying to rekindle that relationship, if you're trying to reconcile that relationship, if you're trying to reintroduce yourself to that relationship, if you just need more information on what you heard today. Again, this is live on TikTok, live on YouTube. You guys can go and watch it over and over and over again. Please subscribe and do all those types of things. But this is all in your owner's manual for a funky measly $50. We can get you that information. We love you guys, man. It's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. And until next time, love HerbMan. My pleasure, my people. Peace. Peace. Peace be unto you. Peace. Peace be unto you. Peace. 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 Love you back. Love you back. Everybody. Yes. Yes. You see old Wooster down here. He trying to get a job back. He trying to get his job back. All right. Peace, everybody. Peace. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye, go.